You're in.
She's no longer a member of our club, so I gotta track her down.
If
Yeah.
everyone,
Her-
since we're in here, if you would all silence your cell phones or put it on mute, so that we don't aren't interrupted. What we're going to do today, oh, and just in the way of background, again, with Valencia and Quest, Mark Richards, DTM. My experience with this is I've been using Free Toast since the very beginning. When I first joined, we had a website. I didn't know what it was, so I delved into it. And I started looking, and I started figuring out what was going on, and I have a background in computers. So it was interesting to me. Then I found out that Steve James, who is the worldwide developer for Free Toast, happens to be in our district, which is pretty exciting. And I got to know him just by phone and by sending support requests in. And I would see Steve the Techie, that's his handle, and he would be responding to these support requests. Well, one year, I guess it was 2014 or so, I wanted to put on a training for the district because there were so many people that didn't know much about how to use this website. So Steve, myself, Elizabeth, Agnes, and Marianne, if I'm not mistaken, there were 6 of us, got together and we put on a live training, each of us having 20 minutes to talk about a specific area. Oh, and John Murray. And we all put on a specific section. So somebody handled membership, somebody handled the agenda, somebody handled how to build the homepage, for instance. And we did this, and we didn't get that many attendees. It was kind of disappointing, but that's a live presentation. People had to get up, they had to drive somewhere. And then we held another one of those in a different format, still didn't work. Then we tried a Zoom training, which was a webinar format. We got a lot more people. We had I think 12 people showed up for that, which was great because people didn't have to leave their home. And then when the opportunity came up that this event would be happening, I said, you've got to let me do this. How many people here have received my educational award congratulations letters, emails? You've received, if you've done any kind of educational award,
yeah.
you received an email from me congratulating you. Because I've been sending those out for 2 years, I'm sure you have. And so I've been doing that. And I've also sent out via email tips that you may or may not have understood what they are. You wouldn't have received them because your club doesn't have Free Toast yet. And if you weren't officers, then you may not have received them. So I've been doing this for a long time. I actually was going to have Steve be here, but he couldn't make it. What we're going to do today is we're going to go through a basic overview of the whole system and how it works. And then I'm going to go and delve into your specific questions and tackle whatever specific thing you might have that has been bugging you or if you're interested in learning more about so that we can narrow the focus a little bit. Are there any questions before we get started?
Can we get a copy of the presentation?
It is right here. Right here. My apologies. Right here. Take notes.
You want me to pass those out?
Would you please?
Sure.
Thanks, let's see. Yeah, I've got 3 slides per page, and there's two sheets back to back. And definitely take notes.
I think I'll
Because
figure it
at
out.
the end of this short presentation, just to make sure everyone's up to speed, then we'll answer questions and go into specifics. You've been wondering how to add video or add either video or a photo to your homepage, or you want to know how to get a website. We'll go over that as well. So it's all part of this whole thing. So he's going to
There
have
we
it.
are.
Let's get this started.
I got it.
Okay. Why are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing? So that's not good. Change this. There we go. This was supposed to be the title for today's presentation. Because many people, hi, I'm Mark, you are?
Debbie.
Hi Debbie, and you are from which club?
Yeah, a couple Renaissance speakers, prepared speakers.
Okay, and you're familiar with the website?
Yes, I actually had approval a couple of years back and I haven't. I sort of started and I gave up quickly,
Ah,
which is why I'm here.
well, excellent. What we're going to talk about is how Free Toast Toast, which is a very bizarre name for this website. It was started by a gentleman named Bo back in 2004 because there wasn't anything even close to this. So he called it Free Toast Toast because it's a free website for Toastmasters, and he decided to host it. I guess I'm making this up. I don't know exactly where he got that bizarre name. The purpose of Free Toast Toast is to make it so that you spend less time managing your club, so you can focus more on doing the things that you do best, which is learning how to speak and how to lead. The Free Toast Toast 3 is the current version of the website. Recently, Steve James, who is the worldwide developer, you know Steve probably, maybe?
From online.
Online, okay. He recently upgraded the system with a whole bunch of new features, which some of them I'll cover today. And he changed the name from 2 to 3. He upgraded it to version 3. It is created, maintained, and supported by fellow Toastmasters. So he is a Toastmaster, so that when he is adding new features, he knows what it takes to add new features, what we need. If you go to the support website, all the people that you'll get support from are other Toastmasters. The nice thing is that so many people like this website because it's designed for and by Toastmasters that 2/3 of all the clubs in the world use it, which means about 11,000 out of 16,000 clubs use this website to manage their club. So I think you'll find, Donald, that this is something that once you get this started, you get other people in your club maybe catch on to it and see that it is really nice. It is one of the features that he added recently is it's now mobile friendly. So if somebody is only using their phone, they can use the website now. And it's a brand new feature, probably a month old. It's scalable. Why should you use the website? First of all, it'll help you as a club operate more efficiently. It'll help you attract new members. Well, how would it do that? Right now, all of you have your club in Toastmasters International's Find a Club. When somebody goes to find a club, they're going to get a contact email or a contact form. Once they fill it out, you'll tell them, you'll get an email from, how many people have received that email from Toastmasters International? We all have probably. They'll go to your website. Once they go to your website, I'll explain what's going to happen, what they're going to see, but it'll help you bring them to your club. Because the whole purpose of any website for somebody that's not a member is to bring them to the club. And then from there, that's what the VPPR does. Bring people in. From there, it's everyone else's job to convert them to a member. It also helps keep members informed and interested in the club by having features and pages that you can modify and add features to, such as, I heard it this morning, Serena was mentioning that, she mentioned ACG and a couple of these other letters. Because if you want to know more about them, ask, I don't know what she even said. But the purpose of one of the things that I did on both of my websites is I added the legacy program qualifications to become a DTM. And I added the new qualifications to become a DTM in Pathways. And you can add those custom pages. It's free, hence the free Toast Toast. And that's a nice feature too. So you don't have to pay anything. Here's some of the built-in features that every website has. You will have a contact form. Yes.
Every website?
Every Free Toast website will have a contact form in it. So let's say, for example, somebody's in downtown LA, and they type in Toastmasters clubs, Toastmasters. If you have done your job with Free Toast, and putting in keywords, you have a Facebook page, and they type it in and they see Bunker Hill, they might not go through Toastmasters International. They'll come right to your website. On your website, there will be a contact form. They know how to reach somebody now by filling out a similar form to what they would have done at the international site. Then the person in your club who you designate as the person to receive that email will get a similar email, and they can respond accordingly. I'll show you an example of what I send out to my members, to my guests. Meeting information and directions.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can multiple people receive that
Yes.
email?
Yes, they can, up to 3 people.
Mark?
Yes.
If we have a question,
Yes.
you want us to ask?
Absolutely. It's probably better that way.
Okay. Our club uses this site, and I'm here to learn to use it better.
Yes.
So my question is, I've only used it as a member.
Okay.
So if someone's interested, can they access this site to fill out that contact form, or how does that work? I may have missed when you were talking about that.
No problem. If somebody is a guest and they don't know anything about it, they just see, they look in and all of a sudden they find Toastmasters for
Right.
And they go to your website and they see it.
Well, they would see this.
They would see your website,
Right.
your homepage.
Okay.
Okay. And on there's a contact form, and that's a lot of websites have that. So they click on that, they fill it out.
Okay, so even though they're not a member yet, they're able to access the contact form.
Correct.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Right. There's a
members only and a public.
public side and
Okay.
a lodge.
I should have known that, yeah.
Yeah, and a private side that's
It says
only.
main menu.
Yeah, main menu. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll show you that. Also, along with the contact form, there's meeting information and directions. So where you might have your meeting might be a little bit complicated to find. Might not be as easy as you might think it is. So you can actually embed a Google map right onto the directions page. You can have meeting information like, oh, we're on the 3rd floor. You can put whatever you want. It's like a word processor. You just fill it out however you want, and it can be very, very specific. You could have a picture of your building. You could have specific directions, whatever you want. Like I said, even the Google map, which I find is just a wonderful feature. In addition to having all of your meetings listed, you could also have specific, let's say you have an open house and you want to advertise it. One way to do it is to put it on your calendar. Now, it's not going to, a lot of people may or may not go there, but it's a feature that's built in. Every one of your members can fill out a profile which has biography about them, their photo, any of their personal contact information like their Facebook page, or if they're in business, they might want to have a LinkedIn profile. And all of these things are valuable because somebody who's not a member, they can see other people that are part of your club and read through the lists of profiles. Okay, well, these people are pretty much like me. I've got a realtor, I've got a tax accountant, and I've got a student. Lots of different people. They're very similar to myself. That makes me feel more comfortable. That's what the purpose of member profiles are. Email lists are built into the system. You can send an email, anybody in your club can send an email to any one of your members, either directly or by putting in something like, and I'll give you a few examples, members at the name of your club. Every one of your members will get it. Guests at, all of the people in your guest list will get an email. It's a good way for PPPRs to be marketing the program, marketing your club's website. You can send it to prospects. You might have people that are not really guests, they're, say, associations. Maybe the people that you know that are people you want to stay in touch with. Another one that's really powerful is former members. Anybody that's been a member of your club you don't delete them if they stop becoming a member. You move them to the former member list. Then, in addition to marketing to guests, you can also market to former members. And that's powerful. We've had many people. Have you seen people in your club leave, and then 2 or 3 years later, their life changes, you know, they stop having that incredible work schedule and they want to come back to Toastmasters? Well, some people may forget a little bit about you, or they want a general reminder that you can send out by sending an email to former members. Sparks their interest again, gets them to come back. My favorite part of Free Toast Toast, without a doubt, are the agendas. We're going to go over those in just a minute. Reports, there are so many reports that you can pull that will tell, especially for anybody here, a VP of Education, right? You can pull reports that will help you with your mentors, in finding out who is being mentored and who is available to mentor. You can find out who has done which role, how many speeches they've given, what kind of speeches they've given. These are historical reports. They're all over the place in the site. And did I mention it's free? This is what Valencia Toastmasters, yes.
What about scheduling? I'm eager to hear about scheduling. That's what
Okay.
I'm here for.
No problem. We'll get to that in just a second. Those are the agendas.
I'll be patient.
Okay, no problem. Valencia, this is the website. This is my homepage. All of your websites, all of the Free Toast Toast websites will have a look and feel that's similar to this. Toastmasters across the top, your club name, and then everything else, it's your content. All of the custom web pages that you might want to add are on the left side. And anything that you want to put in the main part, your photos, you can put a video on there, you can put all the words you want. But the purpose of this is this is what people are going to see. This is the first thing they're going to see when they come to your website. You want to tell them why they should come to your meeting, and then you want to invite them. Because if you do these things, and that's what it is, this is what our website was just recently designed. We have somebody in our club that's a marketing specialist. She rewrote the entire thing. These are all the whys of what somebody would want to join Toastmasters. And then at the bottom, we invite them. Come to our meeting, essentially. Be a guest. Here are the agendas. You mentioned the agendas. You're interested in the agendas. Joyce, right? No, that's Joyce.
Yeah.
Debbie.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are where you schedule. When you have it, the agendas get set up, and when they're set up, every member. One of the things that's nice about this, when a club, Donald, when you're a club right now, how do you schedule your speaker roles?
Vice President of Education taps people on the shoulder if they don't volunteer.
Okay. So at the meeting, before the next meeting, you ask people to
Right.
speak. This will allow people to assign themselves the role for not only the next meeting, but every future meeting that there are agendas for. What I do is I usually push out about 3 months worth of agendas. Therefore, especially for somebody who is, say, trying to, let's say, or you're on Visionary Communications and you just started, but you want to get to Visionary Communications, you want to get to VC3 by December. You can plan your goals, you can plan your progress by assigning yourself speaking roles or leadership roles going into the future.
You mean if you say you want visionary whatever on, February 9th, will it populate the prior weeks with what it is you need to do?
No, you put in each one. In other words, you put in your next speech.
Are you inputting into the actual agenda then?
Yeah, you actually put it into the agenda, and I can show you that in just a moment, what it looks like to actually put yourself in. As you can see just on this example right here, you've got Shami is the Toastmaster for the evening. I am the timer. There's no person who's an odd counter. I'm just looking at this example. I just took a screenshot of a recent agenda. We assigned ourselves those roles. The advantage of that is that it gives members accountability for their success. Doesn't mean that VPE can't step in and say, John, it's been a while since I've heard you speak. Wouldn't you like to get moving in the program? Oh yeah, I would. Let me show you how to do it. And the VPE can walk somebody through how to take a role. And that's part of the advantage there. These are your meetings. You design the agenda.
So that's how the schedule is done, by the actual agenda.
Yes, by the agenda, okay. The nice thing about that is however you want your meeting to go, whether it's 3 speakers, 4 speakers, this is a particularly special meeting where we had, it's kind of hard to see, but the third person, the face down there, he did his ACG workshop. It was an hour-long presentation that he gave in the meeting to qualify for ACG. That was his workshop. We said, okay, fine, we'll do this. We'll change our whole meeting structure. I created a brand new agenda just for that meeting. We've done open house meetings where he had special arrangements. We've had meetings where we did a round robin evaluation. We eliminated the evaluators, and after every speaker, we had a 5-minute period where we all gave 30 seconds or so of what we felt like, what we felt the speaker did, could have done better, maybe 1 or 2 things. You can design these agendas, you can save them and reuse them in the future. Does that make sense?
Is it difficult to modify the agenda once you?
No. It's really easy to
There's
do.
templates.
There's templates that you create in advance, and you can modify the templates on the go. And after you've modified a template, if you really like it, you can save it as a new template. I mean, a new agenda.
Because, for example, on ours, we still have listed the voting for the, I think it's most improved person.
Okay.
We haven't used that in
In forever.
years. I'd like to get rid of it.
Absolutely, you can do that.
Okay.
Okay, so the purpose of this, though, is to let everyone know who is doing what and when. That's the purpose of an agenda. Because if you don't have an agenda, and people walk in, they're going, okay, so now what are we doing here? Why are we here? We're here to do a few things. We're here to hear speakers, we're here to do table topics, and we're here to hear evaluations of the speakers. All of the meeting roles are listed, the functionary roles are listed, so people know what they're doing. Timers listed. You have the general evaluator knows when to call. You can specifically write into the agenda exactly what each role is, and that person is supposed to do. The Toastmaster, they're going to do this at this particular point. Later on in the agenda, they're going to call for the different speakers. Later on, they're going to call after the speakers, they're going to call for the timers report, and for a vote on the best speaker, for example. You can write that into the agenda, and that makes it more efficient, yes.
Thank you for all of this. Is there a way to find out how many times somebody was the on counter?
Yes.
Thank God.
Part of the
The end of the year statistics of
Yes.
who did what,
Who
how
did
many
it- who
times
did what
somebody
when.
was there. Love it.
Okay, those are part of the reports that are available.
And to add, a lot of times the agenda changes, so you go to the meeting and someone doesn't show up. So the VPE can go in and actually modify the agenda so the actual correct information is what shows up on the agenda.
Sure.
Or in the statistics.
Yes, absolutely.
And are you available for one-on-one?
Absolutely.
Afterwards for the rest of
Absolutely.
the
The
hours?
only thing I didn't put on there is my contact information. I didn't have a slide. In fact, why don't I do that since we're thinking about it? Go to the last page or something, or the first page. Let me give you my personal information. My name is Mark Richards. I should have had a slide about this, but I didn't. My phone number is 661-623-6272. My email address is mark, M-A-R-C, 33DTM@gmail.com.
And that phone number was 661-623, did I get that right?
Yes, 6272.
Gotcha, thank you.
If your club is interested in having a Zoom webinar, I will set it up. We will have an online meeting. We'll go over anything specific that you want. And I've offered this before, although I'm not 100% sure if it'll still happen. If you get 5 or more officers, then in the past we've had Steve James, the worldwide developer for the software, come online with us. But I don't know exactly what's going on with Steve right now, so we'll see. Might be too stressed. I really don't know. In any event, the purpose of this also is not only to let your members know what's going on, but as a guest, when they walk in, when you say, here's our agenda, this is what's going to be happening today, what an impression that makes. Because how many meetings may they go to, might they go to, where they have no idea what's going on. They're just going to sit there like, Now they know exactly what's happening, when it's going to happen, and when it's going to be over. And if you follow that agenda, as the Toastmaster of the evening, and as the timer, and if you work together as a team, and you follow the agenda, and you keep your extra comments to a minimum, you can really accomplish some powerful things.
Mark, before you, if you could go back quickly to that slide, I just had 2 questions.
There's a way to do it.
Well, that's all right. That's fine. Don't worry about
There's a way
it.
to go back. Hold on. I know it.
How's the dog?
Dog is awesome. Logan. I was going to bring him today, but my wife was home, so I thought, let's just go with that. Okay, so there's the next one. The agendas you're talking about.
So I see under the lady's name, it's got a check mark confirmed.
Yes.
And then the other picture has nothing, and then AHA Counter has log in as a member. So
Yes.
that's a way when somebody is assigned or assigns themselves, then there's a way to go in and confirm that you're going to participate.
It's an extra feature. It's not necessary. You can, and when we get in just a few minutes, I'll actually go into an actual agenda.
Because our problem, sorry for interrupting you,
No,
but our
no.
problem is that we assign people, we don't know whether they've accepted or not, so this would be a way for them to.
Yes, it is.
One of the things that we do or did when Steve was active is Steve would send out an email with a link, and that actually takes you, so on the link, it would actually take you to the agenda where you can sign in. So the members don't even have
To the particular agenda.
From the
email.
email he sends you, you can say, I want to do this, and then it automatically populates the agenda without the member really having to do anything.
Yeah.
So this email was really great that people could just sign up by an email, and it would populate the agenda, and then the VPE just prints out the agendas that people
So
sign
is that
up.
something we can do from here?
Yes.
Great.
And then the second question on
Yes.
that was, you said that anybody who wants can go in, they can sign themselves up for roles in future meetings and
Yes.
so on. Is there a spreadsheet so you can see, or do you have to look at each agenda separately to see who's signed up for each particular meeting?
You can do both. There is a way to create a spreadsheet that is a report, another report, that shows future meeting roles. One of the things that we use this for in our meetings is we encourage people to go online and sign up for meeting roles, but sometimes they don't. So we can print out a future meeting role report. It has the next 5 meetings, and we pass it around. People can look at it. Now they're okay, they're not online, fine, I always forget to go online. Oh, but look at this. There's a speaking role available in 3 weeks. No, I've been wanting to give that speech, and they put their name down. Then the VPE can take those and input them into the future agendas. So there's multiple ways of doing it. Multiple ways of accomplishing the same thing.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And Mark?
Yes.
I have a question. Who in the club, do all officers have access to, or the ability to enter somebody into the agenda?
Good question. Technically, it's supposed to be, well, first of all, the webmaster does. And it doesn't always have to be a separate person. It could be the vice president of public relations, VPE, or it could be a separate person. That's just as his role is, or her role is just designed to maintain. Up to 3 officers can have access to each individual section. So in an agenda, you can have 3 officers, in addition to the webmaster, that have access to being able to modify the agenda. Being able to modify how the members are stored. Being able to work on the dues section, for instance. These are all individual modules
They
So up
are.
to 3 people, yeah, they're
Okay.
individual modules. Let's move on. I'm running out of time.
Okay.
Membership management. Membership management is where you put all of your members into your website. This is not connected to Toastmasters International. I've just covered my club requested that I not list all of the members there. And it doesn't really matter, but this is where you would see lines of their names, their emails, and their phone numbers of each of the members in your club, and you put those in yourself. On the right, well, let me go on the top, I'm sorry. This is the membership management module. This is where the VPM, for instance, could take special care of managing all your
That's your
members
question.
and where they come from.
And this is separate from what we've done in international.
This is
They're,
completely
yeah, they're-
separate.
they're not linked
connected.
together, that's important for everyone to know.
Yes.
Don't assume that what you do on the website, your club website, is going to be done on the IT, yeah, website.
Yeah.
Right.
In fact, even on here, for instance, if somebody name is listed and they move from VC1 to VC2 or PL1 or whatever, PM1, if you go from one to the next, you can change their designation on here, but you have to do it manually.
Can you export from the TI website the list of members and their membership number and all that? Can you
And then
export it
import them.
into this? Yeah. So it would populate that with
No,
what TI has.
wait a minute. I said no quickly.
Yeah.
I think you can through Quick Add. Let me show
Oh,
you.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
You can certainly
So-
export it to your own Excel spreadsheet.
Right, you can't. And I'll explain that in a second. But first we got all these powerful lists. We've got the members list, which shows up first. These are all your members. Then you've got, like I said, prospects, which are people that they don't really guess. They're people that you might do business with as a club. Maybe the property manager or somebody that has an interest in Toastmasters but may not want to ever join. Then you've got your guest list. Next we've got former members, and I mentioned that. Anybody that is ever a member, you don't delete them, you move them to the former members list. And friends and affiliates, I'm not really sure what that is. Next you've got your, there you go, Quick Add. This is a page that will show up, it's a blank page, and as long as there's a name, a space, an email, and then a space, and phone number is optional. But at least those first two, and you have them just listed one per line, you can add them all at once. So yes, to answer your question, somehow I missed that. You've also got a new member welcome letter, something that recently just changed. First of all, you can design your own, hi, welcome to Bunker Hill Toastmasters. And this is where we are, thank you for joining. Our meetings are this and this and this. There's a standard form letter built into membership management, but you can modify it. In the past, you would send this out manually. Now, whenever you add somebody into the membership list, they are automatically sent an email by the system asking them, it's an opt-in email. This is part of the new European GDPR. It's opt-in. Have you ever been opted in or opted out of an email?
Yeah.
Just
What's
like
GDPR?
it's something. It's European. It's a code for I don't even know what. The point is they're all sent an email.
Data protection or something.
Yeah. So
What?
they're
Data
sent an
protection.
email, and they are basically being asked, is it okay for us to send you emails
Right, like the district has.
like the district and like Toastmasters International has? Obviously members are going to say yes. They're all going to, as soon as they say yes, they'll all receive a new member welcome. So whenever you add somebody, after you've got your initial list especially, they'll get this opt-in email. They just join, they're excited. Oh yeah, I want to receive emails. They'll get that new member welcome automatically. It's a new feature it's built that that Steve just created. In addition to that, you can assign all of your officers yourselves, and this has to do with the club and how you manage the club. If, for instance, whoever is the president this year is no longer the president next year, you just remove them. click on it, and in a checkbox, the line shows up. You uncheck their name as president, find who is the president, you click on their role as the president, and now they move to the top. We can show you how that works in just a second again. Tools and reports. There's a lot of tools in here. This is where your VPE will spend some time. This is where you can pull up your mentor reports. You can assign mentees, or proteges as they're calling them, to mentors now. This is where you can pull up reports of all of your members if you want to export them. This is what I did. After we had our members list recreated, we have all the new members for the year. About once a year, I export the list and import it into my contact list. So I've got all of the members in my personal contact list so that I can email them personally if I want to. It saves time and effort. Dues management. Anybody here a treasurer? Yes, okay. You are going to, if you're not using this, you are going to love this feature. You can create your own custom invoices within Toastmasters, within the website. These invoices will have the person's name, will have how much the dues are for the next 6 months or a year if it's yearly, have where to email or mail, the check, if you're going to have the check mailed, if they can't make it to another meeting. If you want to, you can even set up a PayPal account, which I don't have time today to cover, and it'll show up as a button at the bottom where they can click on it and go right to PayPal and pay for their dues that way. It's a fun feature, but for treasurers, this is a boon. This is really, really exciting, is that now you can not only send them an invoice, but you can track how those dues were paid. Every time the dues are due, the treasurer will see a list of all the names of the members, and they can, oh, somebody pays, they can move it from a send over to cash, or they pay with a check, or PayPal, or no email, other, whatever. And you can even write notes in there. And this, for the treasurer, is going to make your job a lot easier. You don't have to create a separate spreadsheet. You don't have to go into Excel. It's built right into the system.
Is that a new feature?
No, it's been around for a while. Yeah, probably it's underused. It's what
It's basically, yeah.
yeah, highly underused. Managing the website itself is like working with the web processor. It's a form. You fill it out. It has an area that you fill out for what you want the top to say. Valencia Management, Valencia Quest Toastmasters, or Bunker Hill Toastmasters. It has a form for how you want it to look. You can change the colors. You can change the appearance of the website. You can add files to store on the website for future officers. For example, at the bottom of ours, and if I were to scroll down on my website, you would see we have a custom website, ValenciaToastmasters.com, for instance. And we bought that from a website management company, and we have the login information. We put that in here so that 2 years from now, when it comes due, somebody says, how do I log into, I can't remember the name, why am I forgetting it? Can't log in to the website? Well, all the information is right there for the next round of officers. And designing your website and the agendas is real easy. Again, it's just a matter of going through the steps one by one, following. There's lots of online, on-screen prompts. And if for some reason, this is how to get it. Let me back up just a second. If for some reason you are lost, you can do one of two things. You can either check out the support website and all the documents, every feature you ever want to know about is online, and I'll get to that. It's the next slide. I'm talking ahead of myself. This is something not only you'll want to pay attention to. You'll want to go to toastmastersclubs.org, and you've got a slide there that says that. And you basically have to put in your club number, your name, and your email. I would suggest not using your personal email, but using a club email. What do you mean by that? You could, for example, get bunkerhilltm@gmail.com. No one else in the world is going to have that. And you can use that for all of your club business, as long as somebody remembers to check it. Of course, it could be forwarded to your personal email address too. But this way, it's always bunkerhilltm@gmail.com. So 2 years, 3 years from now, you leave the club, right? Or you're no longer an officer, it will still be bunkerhilltm@toastmasters.gmail.com.
You just have to make sure you give the password to somebody.
Exactly, and that's something you can put into your website, is the password, the login and the password for your custom website, custom email address. This is where you go for online support. It's the same thing, but just add the word support in front of it. And if you've never been here, this is an awesome website. You can get, first of all, online documents, and there's a link from every website directly to the online docs or to the support website. So you don't actually have to go here on its own, you can just click on the link from your website. Here, you can do things like, for example, you have problems logging in, and every one of your clubs having trouble logging in. This happens every so often. You can go to the support website, create a new post, and say, I'm having trouble logging in. Click, send. Within hours, you will receive a response. There are people online all the time, 24 hours a day pretty much. We have somebody in Australia, there's somebody in Canada, Steve is here locally, I think there's somebody in Europe, although I'm not sure. And they're always on the site, the support site, checking for new posts and helping out and responding. And it might take 2 or 3 times for you to figure out what's going on, but it really is powerful, and it's free.
Are there tutorials?
Absolutely, that's part of the online documents. One of the things that is hard to do, though, is to keep that up to date. So there is somebody, I think Pam in Australia, she's kind of in charge of whenever Steve creates a new function, new feature, she's updating the online documents. I think we're at a time now.
How do you get, I'm sorry, how do you get on? How do you get in? Because I went through a whole rigmarole to even get access to free Toast Host a couple of years back, and it took me, and I had to get approved, and a link was sent, and it was involved. Maybe it's a lot simpler now?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm just saying,
exactly.
if we're not on free Toast Host, we would like to be. What's our first step?
First step is the previous slide. There's a way to go back. Oh yeah, it's free. It's this slide right here. No. This one. Go to Toastmasters.
Toastmastersclubs.org.
Yeah, and again, I'm going to show you a live website because I'm out of time here. And I don't. If you want to leave, if you got the next one you want to get to, that's fine. But let's go to a live website. Here's Quest Toastmasters. It's a different club that I'm in, and this is our custom page.
A few minutes.
Okay, and let's see. There's Valencia Toastmasters. Notice how this is grayed out right here. This is where you log in. The reason it's grayed out is because the website doesn't know that this is a new device for me. So it'll say right here, I agree to the policy. This is your cookie policy. You've probably done this on websites before. Once you agree to the policy,
You have to always agree.
Yeah.
otherwise you won't be able to log in.
Yeah.
Okay. And now I can log in. So let me log in. And I'm a member of this club. And if you'll notice, see how it shows up, my name shows up right below? Then all you have to do is hit enter. And then you can type in your password, which you create your own password. And now you're in. And now notice, here's the main menu, but now the members only tab has now become activated. This is what a meeting agenda looks like. Now, this is our meeting agenda at Valencia Toastmasters.
Good looking crew there.
Hey, you know, why not?
I also wanted to point out that when you go in, an interesting box is the members access. You can see who is really
Right here.
active in your group, going on, signing in.
We've got somebody, check this out. Michael Stein. Look how many days this guy has not been in the website.
He has a hard time with the
He
computer.
is still paying dues. I've been in the club 5 years, I've never met him.
So this automatically counts up.
The last time they were in.
Okay.
And so you can actually see. Yes. Well, the nice thing is this. Look at the top, look at the first top 10 names or 12 names. They've all been in the last couple of weeks. And the reason that that's good is that you're doing your job as officers by making sure that they're aware of the website and they're actually getting in and using it.
I can say from us, it was very difficult to get people to do it, and we kept enabling people in the club to, you know, we'll do it for you. But if you sort of put a firm hand and make people accountable and use the website and say, this is how you're gonna sign up, then they will eventually start using it. And it was really hard for us to get people to use it.
There are some clubs that are like that, and it's part of the club culture. If the officers, one time I've done this more than once, I've actually pulled this up on the screen and gone through some of the features with some of the members that are relevant to them, so they know how to use the system better. For instance, I wanted in the, let's see, go to main menu, and here's our, meet our members. This is the profiles that I mentioned. These are the people in our club that have filled out their member profile and made
A
it
cool club.
made it public. Look at this person, Elizabeth. She's got all kinds of
Yeah,
social
she's
media.
phenomenal.
And she's an officer. But we don't have a lot of people. Here's somebody who hasn't put their name, their photo in, but they've got it.
That person's related to
Fonseca.
Eric.
Not related.
Oh, not related?
Not
Ah.
Oh, wow.
Mark,
And-
quick question, not to interrupt your train of thought here, but just back on the, don't change slides.
related. Okay.
You had that list the last time somebody signed in. That list pulls from the members that have been logged in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your membership.
You mean this list right here? This
Yeah,
list?
that comes from the membership list
Yes,
and it's automatically populated.
right. Let me show you what membership management looks like. And I've actually given myself access, even though I'm not logged in as an administrator, I've given myself access to this so that I can just show it to you here. This is membership management. Here we've got a list of officers, a list of members. These are all the members in our club. At the top, you can see that these are our officers. They will be changing.
So as long as somebody's name is on there,
They will log into
then
the
when they log in, it'll populate
It'll
that.
Every person, every office has different rights. So like, for instance, the membership person can log in and change things that have to do with membership, but may not be able to change things that have to do with where the location is.
Yes, question in the back.
Yeah, so we're a new club. We've just been chartered last year, actually. We're in Toast Host, we have all that, but we're not accessing it the way we should. So when just kind of walking through the starting steps of a member going in to access this, they have to click that first link, or that first thing to say they agree to the policy, and then they have to log themselves in.
Right.
But if we haven't already updated them as a member in there, will they be able to log in? They have to be added as a member first, right?
They have to be added as a member first in membership management. So
Okay.
that's the first step.
That's the first step, is to add them, new members in, to
Right.
get them in there, and then they'll be able to log in and
Your
create their
question,
own
Debbie?
password, correct?
Question, Debbie, was, your question was about,
Oh,
your question was about adding them from TA. You got a quick add. There's a space right here, where, if you notice here, it says name, space, email, address, space, and phone number, which is optional. You can take your list and put all their names in here one after another. And when you click save, it'll populate your members list.
Thank you, Mark.
Call me if you have any specific questions.
That's the point, they have to accept that, they have to opt in.
Excellent.